Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 is officially in the rear view mirror. Before I go any further, I do want to say, I hope you guys all have a happy new year. And I do want to also say a massive thanks to everyone who watches this channel. We had a great year again this year. 6 million views is absolutely insane hard for me to wrap my head around. So with that out of the way, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look back at 2024, and I'm going to go month by month and talk about some of the biggest videos on this channel. And I think by doing that, we're going to piece together a pretty cool, almost like timeline for what happened in 2024. So with that being said, let's jump over to my YouTube studio page, and you can see the dates here. This is for January of 2024. Now, January is not a month that is well known for being big in the tech news world. So what you will see a lot is me just kind of coming up with things to bring to you guys. How do Pixel Fold users really feel about their phone in the new year? Things like that. But I think what was interesting to me is the videos that seemed like they did really well in January were both Surface Duo videos. This video here, people are still using Surface Duo. Here's what they had to say. I ran a community post and got a bunch of feedback from you guys. And then we also had to close the month a video talking about installing Windows on Surface Duo with a newer, easier method. And those were kind of the biggest videos for me in the month. So again, not a lot going on in terms of new releases, in terms of breaking news. So we have to kind of find our own things to talk about. And for January, it was Surface Duo. And I'm going to straight up steal an idea from Marques Brownlee, MKBHD. We're going to also look at my favorite photo for each month as well. And this is a drone shot that I took in January. We had a cataclysmic snow event. It snowed, and then it rained, and then it snowed some more, and the end result was about 4 inches of concrete hard ice all over my ill-prepared streets, and we were trapped indoors for days. It was awful. For the month of February, my 2 most viewed videos were both related to this little retro handheld, the RG35XX. This was a video about basically unbricking mine and moving the OS to a new, better SD card. And then later on in the month, I made a video about installing an alternative operating system, Batocera Lite, and it also did very, very well. This is one of these things that I wish I had more passion for these retro handhelds, because when I make videos about them and I do things like that, they tend to do very, very well. The problem is I just have sort of a slowly decreasing passion for gaming in my life, so it's hard for me to sort of gin up the, I don't know, maybe you would just say the energy to try and talk about these things. I wish I had more of it. The picture of the month for February is going to be this shot of the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. You can see taken on my Pixel Fold, watching the UT Vols basketball team play. That was a very cool experience. We were definitely up in the nosebleeds, but it did make for a pretty cool shot. For March, I started kind of experimenting with making videos talking about the Meta Quest 3. I made this video about side-loading Android apps, and that did pretty well. We also had Google enabling video out on the Pixel 8. I believe this was in an Android beta, so that was a pretty cool news story to get to talk about and then show off. We had this video talking about reports that some Z Fold users could no longer open their device fully flat because the brushes inside the hinge was actually starting to break down, which is definitely unfortunate to see. And then the most viewed video of the month is going to be top 9 Galaxy AI features in One UI 6.1. This was a very big update that rolled out. There's a cool one. I love making those like update breakdown videos where I go through all the new features, and you guys seem to like them too. The photo of the month has got to be this one for me, because it was March. The weather was finally beginning to warm back up a little bit, which meant that I was able to be outside with Rose out here by this little lake. Looks more like a pond, but they call it a lake, so I'll call it a lake. Definitely was a good day. And as you can see, the OnePlus Open camera is making an appearance. And speaking of the OnePlus Open, for the month of April, my OnePlus Open 6-month in-depth review was far and away my most viewed videos. And the OnePlus Open remains one of the best foldable devices you can buy on the market. We are all greatly anticipating the Open 2 finally coming after them taking a year off from these foldable devices. But yeah, OnePlus Open content has continued to do quite well for me, and that review you guys seem to like. For the photo of the month, guys, do you remember we had an eclipse on April the 8th? This shot was taken with my OnePlus Open. Hard to decide which one I wanted to be the photo of the month because I think that they are all quite cool as it moved closer and closer. I was not in the window of the full totality. Is that a redundant statement? Full totality? You know what I mean. But still, that was pretty cool to get to see. For the month of May, my biggest video was reviewing Walmart's ONN, or I don't know if you're supposed to read that or say on or say ONN. I don't know. But it is a streaming box Google TV. It is, as I said, absolutely outstanding. That video continues to slowly tick away at getting more and more reviews. I've been so pleasantly surprised with their streaming boxes. I reviewed one at the end of 2023. I reviewed this Pro model here in May, and they've actually been used in my house. They've just been really like shockingly good products. For the photo of the month, May the 26th, we had one heck of a storm system roll through, and we had by far the biggest hail I have ever seen in person here in East Tennessee raining down on top of us. I don't remember what device took this photo, but man, look at the size of it. That's a quarter. This was some big hail, and this hail would go on to result in me filing an insurance claim on my roof, which resulted in a new roof on my house later on. For the month of June, I published my 1-year review for the original Pixel Fold, and as you can see, this was after my original Pixel Fold cracked. That inner screen did develop a crack down the middle. I think it was actually at the end of May that had occurred. Talked about that in a series of videos as well. It is still one of my favorite devices of all time, but that saga would not be the end of my hardware failures with the Pixel Fold. I also got to work with a company called Books at the end of June to review the Go Color 7. This is an e-ink device. Basically, think of it like sort of a low-end Android tablet that has an e-ink screen, and I was really pleasantly surprised with this device. A lot of cool things about it, like using the stylus. It basically feels like you're writing on a piece of paper, which I thought was really, really cool. For the photo of the month, we have this family trip out to Pigeon Forge, a trip to Dollywood. This was taken on my Pixel Fold. It was definitely a really, really nice day and a fun time with the family. If you haven't been out to Dollywood, out to East Tennessee, definitely should make the trip. The month of July was absolutely dominated by the Galaxy Z Fold 6. So we have the unboxing and first impressions. We have my first tips and tricks video, 74,000 views on that one. Absolutely killer. And boy, did I keep hammering that Z Fold 6 content 72 hours later. Screen brightness. Have I been wrong about the cover display? A full review. The Thinborn case review. How about 16 more tips and tricks? It was all about the Z Fold 6 in July. But on a personal note, for the photo of the month for July, things were not all about the Z Fold 6. This was the month that we brought home Jet, our third dog of the house. This was shortly after recovering from a parvovirus infection, but she was on the mend, recovering nicely, and of course Jet is still a beloved member of the household. You might see again later in another photo of the month. I started off August by comparing the multitasking between the Z Fold 6 and the OnePlus Open, two really, really incredible options in the folding phone market. And I love making these kinds of videos, really comparing and contrasting the way that these two phones work, digging in deep. And I'm just fortunate that you guys enjoy watching it. Of course, we did also have the full announcement of the Pixel 9 devices, so you would see several videos kind of talking about that stuff as well, talking about the upcoming Pixel 9 Pro Fold. You can see my reaction to their event here, 17,000 views, and I did think that they absolutely crushed the event, and I still think that they crushed the event. 8 things you might have missed about the Pixel 9 Pro Fold announcement did pretty well. Also, we have benchmarks for the Tensor G4, which I don't think are as important as a lot of people think that they are, but it was still worth talking about. And then we close the month with some negativity around the Galaxy Z Fold 6, talking about how their sales had been dropping. There was a sales slump. The 4 sold better than the 5. The 5 sold better than the 6. Hopefully this is a trend Samsung can turn around with the Z Fold 7. For the photo of the month, we're back at another Tennessee Vols sporting event inside Neyland Stadium for the first game of the season. It was absolutely brutally hot that day. We only made it to about halftime. I think we were winning like 48-0. So we went ahead and went home as we were just baking in the sun, but still very, very cool. Anytime you get to be in Neyland Stadium for a game, that's cool. September is going to be dominated by the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, much the way that the Galaxy Z Fold 6 dominated the month. It was released in 24 hours later with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, 80,000 views there. I also reacted to the Huawei Mate X-T Ultra, and that video absolutely blew up. I thought that would be like kind of a throwaway video, might get a couple thousand views, whatever, but it did 93,000 views. So maybe this month wasn't fully dominated by the Pixel. Maybe Huawei took the crown there. I was back on the Pixel with my in-depth review. We also had all my favorite Z Fold 6 accessories. I really enjoyed doing those videos as well. Comparing the multitasking of the Pixel 9 Pro Fold and the Z Fold 6 and the OnePlus Open. That was also a very, very fun and hopefully useful video too. All in all, September was a really, really massive, massive month fueled by the Pixel and fueled by that Huawei video. For the photo of the month, we took a trip down to the McClung Museum here in Knoxville, and this was, I believe, right around the time, yes, this was September the 25th. This was actually on our wedding anniversary, so that was a very cool day. It was a little rainy, a little drizzly, but we had a good time. For the month of October, we have my one-year review for the OnePlus Open. I know a lot of you are still using that device and probably still really, really enjoying it. We had the Z Fold 6 Special Edition being officially acknowledged by Samsung. That would go on to be a pretty big deal for at least 2 regions. And then we closed out the month talking about how that Special Edition did sell out very, very quickly. The photo of the month for October, taken with my Pixel 9 Pro XL that Google provided to me, something that I never thought I would ever be able to see here in Knoxville, an Aurora Borealis. Absolutely incredible. It was obviously much brighter with my camera, but I could actually see it with my own eyes. Incredible. Such a cool night. So November, December, the news, the hardware releases, they do start to sort of trickle off. So you're going to see me get a bit more creative, reaching deeper into my bag, finding something to bring to you guys. So how about this? How's my Pixel 9 Pro Fold hardware holding up after 2 months? There have been a couple of news stories. Google readying a Linux terminal for Android did pretty well. Reports that Google is going to merge Android and Chrome OS, also a very interesting story. But overall, it's kind of a down month. It's November. For the photo of the month, here is a little den that Jet decided to dig for herself in the middle of the yard. She looked quite cozy in there. I told you she'd make another appearance, and there she is. And for the month of December, really the only big thing that happened was Oxygen OS 15, Android 15 for the OnePlus Open was released. And of course, I was there to talk about it and break it down and go over those new features. The rest has been me just kind of trying to find something to bring to you guys, but it's definitely more difficult when there's not a whole lot going on. Photo of the month for December, you gotta have Rutherford included. I've shown Rose, I've shown Jess, so there's Rutherford as well posing in front of that Christmas tree. Like I said in the beginning, though, this was a really, really solid year for me. 6 million total views financially. We were really similar to where we were last year, which is absolutely fine with me. We got through the year just fine, living quite happily, able to do some nice upgrades here at the house. The new roof was really cool. Obviously, you can probably tell, if you've been watching for a while, the flooring all got replaced, or a lot of the flooring downstairs here got replaced, which is something I'm super, super happy with. Personally, business-wise, in general, 2025 was an absolutely stellar year for me. Nothing bad really happened. Me, Jesse, we're all happy and healthy. All 3 dogs are happy and healthy. So I'm just grateful for that, and I'm hopeful that 2025 will be even half as good as 2024 has been. And I hope for you 2024 was a great year, and I hope 2025 is even better than that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my content and helping support what I'm doing here, because without you guys watching, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd have to stop and I'd have to go get a normal job again. And Lord knows I don't want to do that. I'm living my dream job here. I have my dream job, and I have you guys to thank for that just as much as anything else. So, guys, thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a happy new year. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.